If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
It is official. Tom Brady has announced after 22 seasons, 7 Super Bowl championships, every meaningful passing record has announced his retirement from the NFL. What's your reaction?
Yeah, blessed to have been able to watch him, compete against him. And this is incredible. Like, he's the greatest to ever do it. And it's just it's an honor to have done those things and to watch the way that he's going out in the class. And I think his point being he wanted the games to shine this weekend. Perfect opportunity, right? A little 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, before the Pro Bowl. Like, again, handle it with class, with humility. He understands how important this game is. He has never disrespected the game of football. I love the way he's handled it. And, man, tip of the cap, bro. You couldn't have done it any better. And it was an honor to take the field with you.
Thank you for the great years. Thank you for the level of competition. Thank you for the class that you've exhibited throughout these 2+ decades in the sport, 22 years to be exact, to come on the scene and burst on the scene once Drew Bledsoe got injured and to win a Super Bowl that year, and then to turn around and to win 3 and 4 years and to ultimately get to 10 Super Bowls and win 7.
I'm relieved for us.
I'm sad now.
Are you sad?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I'm sad, man.
Really?
I mean,
you're crying over Tom Brady?
Because, you know what, Skip? Because I didn't want the man to go out like this. I wanted someone to, he's like, I can't take the punishment anymore.
To force him out?
It was he's like, he doesn't want to put forth the effort. And John said, talking to John, he said that's one of the reasons, Skip. It's a commitment. It's a commitment like any other positions commit. But to play quarterback at that level, having been around one for 7 years, and the commitment that it requires, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically, for Tom to I'm happy for him. I mean, look, I criticized him when I thought when I thought the criticism was justified, but there's no denying what he is. But I just wish, you know what, a part of me wish Gisele was like, baby, just go play one more year.
Okay.
Go play one more year, Skip.
I
really do, man. I really do.
Okay.
Man, let's celebrate the greatest to ever do it. I mean, how incredible is his career? And the part that probably I get most excited about, y'all, is that he earned every bit. I mean, it's a 6th-round draft pick that most people wouldn't have given a second look to, that turned into a Super Bowl champion and then a perennial competitor for Super Bowls.
The man was absolutely phenomenal. Even in the Super Bowl loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, he threw for over 500 yards. Yeah. His very last year, his 22nd year in the National Football League, he threw for over 5,300 yards. He threw for over 40 touchdowns. He finished his career with 624 touchdowns, had a better than 3-to-1 turnover to interception ratio. And throughout all of those years, do you know he only won in single digits, meaning 9 games or less once in his entire career.
And here's the other part. He made everybody else around him better. Like his drive, his work ethic became infectious, and it became a defining characteristic about him.
Pro Football Focus graded him number 1 among quarterbacks this year in the entire NFL at 44. Pro Football Focus said he should be far and away, that's their quote, MVP of this year. Yeah. Aaron's going to win it. Aaron Rodgers will win it, I'm pretty sure. Right. You thought Aaron should win it, but my point is he at least had an MVP caliber season.
Yeah. The man threw for the 3rd most yards in NFL history. Okay. He led the league in touchdown passes. Clearly he can come back and play. I'm not saying he can go back and throw for another 5,000 or lead the league in touchdown passes again. Who knows? He might.
Yeah. And even though he got off to a rocky start in the home playoff game against the Rams, that was the number 1 defense in the league, graded by Pro Football Focus. He roared back, scored 24 unanswered in the second half, threw for 125 yards in the fourth quarter, including that dime that he dropped to Mike Evans up the right sideline for a touchdown. And yet they gave up the Cooper Kupp throw at the end of the game. He was running a decoy route, and that's what lost the game. So Tom didn't lose the game in the second half. They had one big defensive zero blitz sort of meltdown. That's what it was. It was a meltdown, and that lost the game. And yet back to the injuries, I don't know that he had any bad injuries. He took Von Miller's helmet up under the chin and split his lip.
He's taken 1,000 of those in his career.
1,000 of those. So my point is, I don't know that he had any concussion issues because I couldn't see them.
Right.
I don't think he had any ribs or shoulders or anything that I know of. So you're pretty healthy, especially for age 44.
Right.
And you're coming off what you could argue was maybe your best year ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least a top 3.
Top 3 year ever. So there's no decline. There's no drop off. To your point, nobody's saying, hey, that looks like that should be the end. There's no reason for him to walk away unless his fire went out for it. I can't imagine
I
that.
don't believe his fire went out, Skip.
Yeah.
It's hard to dampen a fire that burned that bright. It's like these fires that happen out here, unfortunately, Skip. It takes months for you to put them out because they get so big.
That's a good analogy, actually.
That's the fire inside of him.
Yeah,
Skip.
a wildfire. Yeah.
Tom's extraordinary ability was obviously he could throw, he could compete, he was there in final moments. But his extraordinary ability was every time those moments came, he met them. And he understood the challenge, and it was like playing in the first quarter was like playing in the fourth quarter when you needed to make a drive to win the game. And also, the man was 44. And he was playing in the Super Bowl. Like context for a second. Like for you to have that ability to go that far, and obviously it has a lot to do with his other teammates, but Tom Brady is the greatest of all time in the NFL. Not only because of championships, but because we can reflect on 1,000 moments where they should have been out of it. They should have lost. And he was somehow, some way found a way to will his team to victory.
I mean, this guy suited up each and every week, and you knew you were going to get his absolute best. And every season he did it. And we just talked about at 44, he should be the MVP. Like I've said it all season. This guy played lights out this season. But that he made everybody else around him better, and that everybody saw something different. I mean, when you talk about people in Tampa and new teammates, and when he walked on the field and they talked about how they were in awe until he started talking to him, and then he was like, hey man, let's get to work, and how everybody just did it, right? Like everybody just fell in line, fell in step with what he was craving and what he was driving them to.
It was like this common dude eventually worked himself into becoming the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL. So that's what I have a lot of respect for.
He personifies what winning is all about, the class that you need to exhibit along the way.
Man, I'm going to miss the guy.
I'm going to miss him too.
Yep. He was an incredible role model as far as I'm concerned as well, and continues to be. And my hope as we sit here right now thinking about him and talking about Tom Brady walking away from the game, my one hope is that he doesn't completely leave the game. I love the fact that Drew Bledsoe is on NBC, even though I'd like to see him in the booth. I love the fact that Peyton Manning and Eli Manning has blessed our airwaves on ESPN2. And when I think about somebody like Tom Brady, I sincerely hope that he finds a way to be a voice in this game because he deserves to be a voice.
I absolutely love it, man. I mean, this guy is as good as there ever was in our sport and should be talked about beyond our sport. Like when you talk about the greatest athletes ever, I mean, he's got to be in that conversation because, again, he willed his way and created this greatness and this attitude and the way that he did it. Man, and here's a guy, listen, that my family and my friends, like it's hard for us to pull for him, right? Because he crushed dreams that I specifically had. But I became a fan at the end of his career and could not have championed more things of how good he was and how special he was. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable ride. I'm so honored and blessed that we had a chance to do it because people who will not get the chance to see him, they miss something, man. This was a true dude.
I'm looking forward to seeing the new version of Tom Brady, what he's going to do next. Like, I don't see him receding into the background and doing nothing. I do think the most notable thing is if you can imagine that when Michael Jordan went to the Wizards, if he averaged 30 points a game, won a Super Bowl, and potentially won an MVP in 2 seasons there, that's what we just saw from Tom Brady at 44 years old. Like, it's so amazing that every point of his career seems more improbable than the last one. It's been an outstanding career, and I hope that he has earned himself. He's, at least in my view, he's earned himself. You remember when he was drunk after that Tampa Bay Super Bowl? That man earned himself a year of that type of behavior. I want to see Tom Brady let loose and enjoy himself, eat some strawberries, drink
Gronk
all
style.
of everything you can find, and celebrate. Yes, go on a Gronk tour. I want the Brady cruise.
Saturday Night Live, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the sentence that he used to actually announce it. This is different. He writes, "This is difficult for me to write, but here it goes. I'm not going to make that competitive commitment anymore."
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.